What's up, guys? We are here continuing our mini-series, our rookie mini-series that we got going on. Today we're going to be talking about CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver from the Dallas Cowboys, picked in the first round at pick number 17. Just going over a couple of college numbers that he had. He was a 3-year starter at Oklahoma, and he comes in at 6'2", 189 pounds. His freshman year, caught 46 balls for 807 yards, found the end zone 7 times. Sophomore year, 65 balls for 1,158 yards, 11 touchdowns that year. And then his junior year, his last year before he got drafted, 62 catches, 1,327 yards, 14 touchdowns. And then he had 9 rushes on the ground for 20 yards for 1 touchdown. He didn't run anything in freshman and sophomore year, but his junior year he had 9 rushes. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Jordan. He's going to give you his thoughts on Lamb, and we'll be out of here.
Yeah, so to me, CeeDee Lamb is the most talented wide receiver in this class, and obviously we're all aware of how deep and how talented this class is, but it's a really interesting landing spot. I think a lot of us really anticipated him going to a spot where he would be the alpha number 1 wide receiver, whether it was Philly somehow trading up, the Raiders, the 49ers. If he went to either one of those spots, I think he would have shot up draft boards even more so. With the Cowboys, they have Michael Gallup there, who had over 1,000 yards last season. Amari Cooper just got paid big dollars. Him and Dak have had a lot of chemistry over his time in Dallas so far. So it's a really interesting landing spot to me. But based on, it's a smart pick by the Cowboys, first of all. He was the best player on the board. It didn't really fill a need. But to me, it says that Michael Gallup probably isn't going to be there long term. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to be the alpha 1A and 1B with Amari Cooper. So short term, I think it's not an ideal landing spot, but he is so talented that there's just no way in my mind that he's not going to be successful in the NFL. And not to mention, if Dak's there in Dallas long term, Dak is a good quarterback that can get his wide receivers the ball. The Cowboys have an immensely talented offensive line. So overall, I think it's a really good situation for him long term. And I think if you're able to get him in that later part of the first round where I've started to see him slip, I think it's really good value, but you just might have to wait on it 2 years.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything that you said. Got the same thoughts on him. We were sitting here on draft day for the first round, and I think all 3 of us were shocked when he was drafted by the Cowboys. Not that he was drafted. Well, we were shocked that he was drafted by the Cowboys, and also that he slipped. He was a guy that in a lot of mock drafts that we've done, and just industry mock drafts that we've seen, he was going to not number 10 to the Browns, but number 11 to the Jets, number 12 to the Raiders. We thought he was going to be the first wide receiver off the board, or even number 2 behind Jerry Jeudy. He ends up being the number 3 wide receiver off the board to a team that doesn't necessarily need him, at least this year. And then, like you said, Michael Gallup could be on the way out, if that's what Dallas feels, or they could just run with 3 wide and try to feed all those alphas the ball. But I think it was a good pick. Like you said, doesn't fill a need, but he went to a team that they do like to throw the ball. Yeah, they do have Ezekiel Elliott there, but they did lose Jason Witten, and who knows how Blake Jarwin's going to be there as a tight end. So he's basically just replacing a spot there where you got some targets opened up, and yeah, he's going to be competing with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup for balls, but he's got all the talent in the world, and I have no doubts that he's going to be a legit fantasy option even as early as this year, and then as the years go by, he's just going to climb up and be higher in your rankings. But I think he was a good pick there. We've seen him go. Those top 4, top 5 wide receiver or running backs are going in your dynasty draft. So he's going around like 6, 7, and 8 in the first round, which is a good spot for him. So if you're picking in the middle of the first round and you got CeeDee Lamb staring at you, I wouldn't hesitate to take him at all.